Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am Sheraton, and this is my show in the ends. Welcome and good evening. Oh, I have no idea what I'm doing there, but something. Okay. Nope, nope, nope. I don't want to do that. What am I doing? I don't know. Comments. Lovely. Good evening, Brett. Thank you so much for joining me. And good evening and welcome to all. Now, tonight's show, I am having a look at the resignation of Nicola Sturgeon. Arguably, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Arguably, Nicola Sturgeon is the most competent politician heading up a UK party. And she's resigned. Now, there was recently a vote. Where's my bits and pieces? I'm so disorganized. Please, I apologize. Yes, there was recently a vote which she lost. She is leader of the SNP, Scottish National Party. And there was a vote that she lost. This vote was in regards to trans rights. Yes. Nicola Sturgeon. Here we go. Yes, this vote was in regards to trans rights. She wanted to pass a vote because she wanted the rights of trans people or the rights of younger people to be able to change their gender. And the Conservative government, yeah, I know. There is something with liberal female politicians. Exactly. And these are liberal female politicians who have represented their countries very well on the international stage. You know, these are not sloppy leaders. These are leaders who've represented their nations very well internationally. It's very peculiar. Okay. Right, I'm going to read some stuff out to you in regards to her. I'm going to go to The Guardian. Okay, SNP, that's the Scottish National Party, in turmoil after Nicola Sturgeon resigned as First Minister. Nicola Sturgeon has resigned as Scotland's First Minister in a surprise decision that has thrown the Scottish National Party into turmoil, triggering its first leadership contest in nearly 20 years. Now, she has not been leader for 20 years. She's been leader for 8 years. However, it says here in a hastily arranged press conference, because this came as a shock to everybody, no one was expecting this. Sturgeon said she had no longer had the stamina to continue in the highly pressured and demanding role. She said, in my head and in my heart, she believed this was the right time for her to quit and build a new career outside politics after 8 years as Scotland's longest serving First Minister and as the first woman to hold the post. A First Minister is never off duty, particularly in this day and age. There is virtually no privacy, no ordinary stuff that most people take for granted, like going for a coffee with friends or a walk on your own. It becomes very difficult. And she says, And the nature and form of modern political discourse means there is a much greater intensity, dare I say it, brutality to life as a politician than in years gone by. All in all, it takes its toll on you and those around you. Now, she goes into more detail about that she's run out of steam and she's tired. And yeah. Oh, hello, Lisa. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Yeah, so she goes into detail about how she's run out of steam and how she's tired. Okay. And you know, and I can believe that. I believe that what she's saying is true. She has run out of steam. She is tired. She took on this role. She's been in the role for the last 8 years. She's been through a lot. They've been through a lot. I believe it was 2014 when we had the referendum whether Scotland would stay in the Union or go for independence. Yeah, I agree, Brett. There is something shade. I do think there's something else here. I don't think it's simply that she's run out of steam. But to recap, she's been through the referendum for the vote for Scottish independence. So that was one, and that was in 2014. There was the whole Alex Salmon scandal that she got dragged into. Alex Salmon was the former leader of the SNP. She got dragged into that. Then there was the Brexit referendum. Then there was COVID and everything else that's gone around that. So she's been through quite some really difficult times, and she's steered a course where she's tried her best to be moderate and really represent her country in a positive way. But at the same time, there's always that the SNP is a party of different factions who are united in their desire for Scottish independence. It doesn't necessarily mean that politically they're always on the same page. It just means they're united in their desire for Scottish independence. So they can be quite broad, politically speaking. Now, at this moment in time, the SNP, I believe that there's going to be an election next year. And the SNP have never been in a stronger position than they are today. And a lot of that is down to Nicola Sturgeon. So it does beg the question, okay, she's run out of steam. She lost the recent vote. It wasn't able to go through Holyrood, even though I think the majority of Scottish MPs actually supported it. I think there's something else, another reason why she decided that now was the time to resign. I don't think it's necessary that right now she is just so exhausted and tired. I think there's something else. There may have been a situation, things happening behind closed doors. In fact, I strongly believe that that is the case. And yeah, and then she might have decided, just like Jacinda, you know what? F you people, I'm out of here. So that's what I'm thinking. But let's see what the cards have to say. Okay, let's see. All right. So, any suggestions for the questions you want me to ask today? Because I was gonna just ask a simple question about why did she really leave? Was there an incident? Why did she pick to leave now? The term limit. I mean, okay. Let me explain to you how our elections work here. Every 4 years, we have local elections where we elect our local councillors. They are responsible for the running of our local authority. Some, there may be some every 4 years or so. There's also mayoral elections. Sometimes they will happen in the same year, but not every town and city has a mayoral election because not every mayor is democratically elected. Because sometimes they can be, what's the term? They can be positions that are more ceremonial and don't really have that much power. So that's where you can get like an election for like the Lord Mayor, um, where they don't really have that much power. Although the Lord Mayor of London is a special case because the Lord Mayor of London only deals with a tiny part of London. So, but I could be wrong on this. I haven't really researched it that hard. Um, I haven't researched it that hard. Or should I say I haven't researched it recently. So if anybody wants to correct me on that point, please feel free. But yeah, so I could, and then every 4 to 5 years we have a general election. Now, because we are the United Kingdom, a country made up of 4 nations, and that's Northern Ireland, not the Republic of Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England, we have a general election. And in 2024, that's when our next general election will be due. However, so it's every 4 to 5 years. That's when we have our general elections. However, this year we're also having local council elections for the other councils who didn't have their local elections last year. So some of the councils will have their elections in 2022, some in 2023, some in 2026, and some in 2027. But yeah, yeah, I would have thought that she would have finished her term as well. I would have thought that she would have finished her term, but let's see what's happening here. Let's see what's happening here. So I suppose, what is the energy surrounding her resignation? That's the question I would like to know. What is the energy surrounding the resignation of Nicola Sturgeon? What is the energy surrounding the resignation of Nicola Sturgeon? Okay, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm leaving that card. Right, it just popped out very languidly and delicately. It just said, floops. One of the cards just floops out. Didn't jump, it just flooped out. So, okay, let's have a look. See, what is the energy? The energy around Nicola's resignation. One more card, please. Yeah, it's around this one, I think. That one, or that one. Okay, so I've got the energy cards going. And let's have a look here. I'm going to use my Sacred Destiny Oracle deck as well, because it's very good at giving me the hidden undercurrents. Hidden undercurrents. What is the energy around Nicola Sturgeon's resignation? What is the energy around Nicola Sturgeon's resignation? Why did she decide to resign at this time? Why did she decide to resign at this time? Okay. I have a funny feeling that, you know what, the way that card just flopped out, to me, I'm not saying that I think that she's being dishonest in the reasons that she's given. Not for a second, actually. I do get the feeling that she kind of ran out of steam. That card did not jump out of the pack in an energetic manner. It didn't fly out of the pack. It just kind of gracefully flopped out of the pack. So I would say that energy was definitely an issue for her based on the way that card just flopped out of the pack. And I would also say yeah, that one. I would also say that there was, but I think there was something else going on. Oh, that's ice cold. It's a bit warmer. Around here. This one. Cold. Yeah, that one's hot. I pick my cards based on temperature. I know it sounds weird. I pick my cards, the cards that I put out on the deck based on temperature. So I will feel like when I'm picking the cards, this side feels warmer than that side. When my hand starts to heat up a bit, it's like, okay, I'm in the right general vicinity of the card that most describes the situation. So, and then I will sort through, and some cards will feel ice cold and some cards will feel warm. So that's how I pick my cards. All right, let's have a look see. Right, let's see. All right. Spirit, please tell me what was happening around Nicola Sturgeon, the First Minister of Scotland, to make her come to the decision at this moment in time that this was the right time to resign. What's been happening around Nicola to make her come to this decision, that this is the right moment in time to resign? Was there an incident? Was there a situation? Is there some kind of scandal or something that's ready to come out? What is around her decision at this moment in time to resign her position? What is around Nicola? This one wants to jump out, so I'm going to let that do its thing, and that one too. Okay, I think that is it. Okay. Right. Okay. What else? What's around Nicola? Oops. There's some cards jumping out. Let's have a look. See. Oh gosh. I just spotted that one. Oh dear. Oh dearie, dearie, dearie my. Oh dearie, dearie, dearie my. All right. Let me carry on. How many cards have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. What's around Nicola's decision to step down as the First Minister of Scotland? A role that she fulfilled, sometimes controversially. Note that one. That one. What was around? What was around her decision to leave that role? It's around her decision to leave that role. Okay, how many cards have I got left to pick now? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go with this side is hot. This side, yes. No, that one or that one? Yeah. No, that one. Okay, I'm going to go with that one as well. Let's have a look, see. Right, how many cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, fantastic. I didn't draw too many cards. Wicked. All right. Cool. Okay. Right. All right. Mother, Father, God in heaven, please assist me in this reading. Ancestors, guardian angels, and spirit guides, please give me guidance in this reading. Please help me to understand and to know what's happening with Nicola. Why she give up? Ah, dear. A beloved child, a person who seems to at least have partially fulfilled her mission when she came to this earth. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen, amen, amen. I'm trying to change things up because I need to, and sometimes I pray before I do the reading and turn everything on. I often pray afterwards. I always feel more secure when I pray before, though. The more it matters to me, I tend to pray more. And I always pray when I'm doing personal readings for people, anyhow. But anyway, let's go. Let's do this. First card, the one that just kind of gracefully flopped out, was Queen. The light attributes: radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. The shadow attribute: becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. Which one is Nicola? Oh, this is interesting. Second one, servant. Servant. This is interesting. Okay. The light attribute: delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. The shadow attribute: using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. This is interesting. Okay. And the third one. This is really interesting. This reading, oh yeah. Although, to be honest, the archetypes deck is always so giving and so spot on. I mean, if you do readings, this is a deck that, might come in useful. Okay, right. The last card I have here, teacher. The light attribute: ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. The shadow attribute: manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits and destructive skills. I don't think that I don't think the shadow of this teacher really applies to her. But the shadow of maybe the Queen one might. I don't know. I'm not going to draw any conclusions. So, yes. I look at all three of these cards and I just see to myself, this is Nicola. Whether it's light or shadow, I'm not going to come to that conclusion, although personally I have my views as to what it could be. She definitely displays all of the light attributes here. She may well display one of the shadow attributes as well. She might do. I don't know because I haven't met her. So I don't know, but let's see what the cards have to say. Ooh. All right. She's going on a voyage. A voyage. Notice you got the mummy whale, and you got the baby whale. And they're joined, yes, they're joined together by strings. So the baby's strapped to the mummy, and the mummy's on top, and she's floating through the sky. That comes on top of my Queen card. Ooh! On top of the Servant cards, we have, yes, a journey. A journey. Going forward. Ooh, can you see? I don't know. I'm rubbish at this. Yes, going forward. A journey. A journey. She's going on a voyage, on a journey. And the final card I have here, embracing. Embracing. Embracing that fire energy. Embracing. And that's on top of the teacher card. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. Yeah. Excuse me. I have to ruminate. Mm. 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 Okay. One thing is she's taking her experience and her knowledge and her skills and her stature as a politician. She's taking that and she's using that to go on a journey. She's using that to move forward. She said that she wanted to look at opportunities outside of politics. There's very much opportunities for her outside of politics, especially being as she's been highly successful and she's never lost an election. So when I look at this, especially this card with the mummy whale, with the baby whale tied underneath it in the moon in up above. To me, her baby is all about Scottish independence. This is something that she has been championing, and you know that's her party's thing. I see her more as the mother whale rather than the baby whale. She's been protected and doing her thing. Why do I see her more as a mother whale? Because the archetype cards I have for her, they're all about there's Queen. This one came up under the Queen. So the Queen is the feminine, female powerful type archetype, right? The female power archetype. Only things that are bigger than queen would be empress and goddess. But anyway, so I see her as the mother whale, and she's having to let the baby go because she may be going into places that might not be suitable. She may feel drawn to go towards places which might not seem quite appropriate for like the first minister to be going or first minister to be doing, because there's a big role, there's a lot of things involved. She can't do both. As a member of the Scottish Parliament, there are things that she can do and get involved in that she would never be able to do as First Minister. But she can act as a representative for Scotland on the international stage. Going forward, her feelings of public service have not ended because she sees herself as a public servant, but her desire to be a public servant and to serve have not ended. So going forward, I see her forging new paths forward, going into new pastures. I see her trying to work with and trying to join up with other international bodies. This is about making the case for Scottish independence. There's, I feel that she thinks there's only so much that she can do as Scottish First Minister. As the First Minister of Scotland, there's only so many things that she could do within that role to push forward independence for Scotland. So she's going to try to make more links internationally with business people, going to pastures anew to make the case for Scottish independence so that they can get more backing. That's what she's going to do. That's what she's going to do. She has not given up her role. Okay. Embracing. Okay. And this came up under the teacher archetype. So, communication. Communicating knowledge, experience, skills, or wisdom. Embracing. I'm wondering if there's someone that she sees in her party has a fire in their belly. If there's someone or someone's, more than one, who she feels is kind of like a reflection of herself. When I look, notice you've got yes, look at that side. Yes, you've got the crane here, and then the crane's reflected. In part, not fully reflected, but in part. I'm wondering if there's someone that she sees has a fire inside them that she thinks that she's been mentoring to be a future leader. Someone younger with more energy. I'm wondering, but I get the impression that even though there is a person, but she had to leave before that person was quite ready. I say that because if you look at the bottom, the crane is only partially reflected. You're only seeing a partial reflection of the crane. Okay, let's have a look and see what the tarot says. First up, the Three of Cups. Is this a celebration? It is a celebration. It's a celebration about a new journey, the fall, the new journey. But you know what? This is giving me fire again. It's giving me fire again. This is a sacrifice. There's definitely a new journey indicated here. Absolutely. I mean, at least two of the cards definitely point to a new journey. The Fool is about a new journey as well. But this new journey is embarked on at this time due to a sacrifice. A new journey and a sacrifice. The sacrifice was made for the journey to begin. Two of Cups. Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is at the base of the reading. There's a lot of emotion here. There's celebration. There's coming together. There's a commitment. There's documents that were signed. There's documents that were signed. And there was a commitment. A contract. A contract. With who and for what, I cannot say. But there's an agreement here. What's the agreement about? In the past, Four of Swords. Stepping back. Stepping back. Well, she has resigned. So it's fair to say that she's stepping back. Or that she's already kind of stepped back. She's announced that she's leaving. She's decided to retreat. Oh man, I saw this card and I wondered what position it was going to come in. Heartbreak. Heartbreak. This is why even though I do believe very strongly that what she said was true, I believe that she said she was tired, and I believe that, you know, she said that it was time for her to go and whatever. But the reason why I believe that there's something fishy going on is because she could have left 6 months from now, you know. She could have had things arranged where everyone knew what she was doing, and there was a rumor that she was thinking about leaving, etc, etc, etc. None of that happened. It was all very last minute. It was just like all of a sudden, bang, I'm gone. Oh, hello. Good evening, Tiffany Intuition. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. Yeah, so the way she left, the way that she has announced her resignation is all very last minute. It's all very like, bang, I'm going. Not, I'm going to be going at the beginning of summer, or I'm going to be going in 6 months. None of that. Just all of a sudden, I'm going. And the way it was announced, it was clear that people did not know that she had planned that she was leaving. She did not plan to leave. She just left. She just said, I'm out of here, I'm going. This was not a plan. This crown in the reading tells me that her sudden departure, one, was not planned, and two, it really did hurt her. It really hurt her to leave this way. It hurt her to leave this way. I asked the question as to why. In the immediate future is the Four of Spears. So I see this as the house, Holyrood House. This is the Scottish Parliament. People casting their votes for elections in the House. For who's going to be the next leader. There's something interesting. Yeah. You know, it's funny. I've only pulled how many cards now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cards. I've got 2 3s, 2 4s, and a 7th card would be 2 2s. Let's continue. Okay. In her mind, she's looking out to see what she can see. She's looking out across the horizon. She's on a ship. She's watching that dragon go past. I mean, in her mind, I would say she's looking out to see what she can see. She's looking out to see where she can land and what she can do while she's out there. What else is on the horizon for her? This wasn't planned. Regardless of what anyone says, this was not planned. None of this was planned. She hadn't planned to leave this way. No way. The environment is the 10 of coins. This is the end of this cycle for her. The end of her cycle as a premier politician, I think. The end of her cycle as a leader on that level. That's come to the end. However, she's left a very rich legacy. The SNP are in a much more powerful position for having had her there for the time she's been there. And although people may disagree with some of her policies and the politics and some of the way things have been done, because you're not going to get a consensus with everyone, there is definitely something here where she has left a great legacy and a great strength. It's like someone coming in to your business and you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, or I can't run it, or something, oh, I'm having difficulty. Someone comes into the business, they start running the business, you start seeing the money pile up, you start selling more goods, you expand, and then they say, right, I'm leaving, I'm moving on. And you're sad to see them go, but you can see all the changes they've made. You haven't agreed with them all, but you know now that you're in a much stronger and better position than you ever were, because there's more money in the bank. You've got more outlets to sell your goods. You've got more employees. Business is going well, but this person who made it all happen is now leaving. So this is an end of the cycle for her there. Seven of coins. Seven of coins. I would say there's a perusal. There's an assessment. Concern about being judged for her legacy. Concern about being judged. Or the assessment. Looking over things. Looking over the materials. Looking over the materials. Um, I'm wondering, because I don't see no cards here about any scandal at all. And I'm going to have to check the book, I think. But I'm wondering, is there some kind of, is there a health problem here? I'm wondering if there's a health problem here. Outcome is judgment. Um, the assessment, the perusal, the looking over of things comes in my hopes and fears position. And I will double check, because I like to double check, because I like to be precise. But I'm wondering if the pentacles in this situation points more to not so much wealth, um, points more towards health. I'm wondering if it points more towards health. Then I've got judgment here. I'm wondering. Let me have a quick look see. All right, let's have a look see. All right, Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. Yes, there's growth, taking stock of one's reevaluation. Yes, I said that. Assessment, reevaluation. Mm-hmm. Hopes and fears, though. Mm-hmm. A plateau. Yes. But evaluation, as I said, there's evaluation and assessment, but the feeling of work, so much more work to be done, and not the ability to do it. But sometimes, I don't know, man, there's something. Okay. Reflection, awaiting results, awaiting results. Um, okay, malfunction, awaiting results. There's a concern here about results. This isn't a concern about this is not a concern about reevaluating things. This is not a concern about making an assessment. The party have never been stronger. I think, and I could be wrong. I mean, of course I could be wrong. There's some waiting for results here. That's a fear. That's a concern. That's a concern. Um, this is a sacrifice she did not want to make, but through it, she can go into doing other things. This is in a past position where stepping back, stepping back in respite, stepping back to retreat, to take some time out. And then I've got the Three of Swords here. Um, Oops, I've got the Three of Swords here, which means heartbreak. It can also mean surgery. And then I've got judgment. So discernment here, judgment. Someone coming to a conclusion. Judgment, if I'm not incorrect, judgment is, it comes at a time where it's very important to make the right decision. It's a key time in your life when the judgment card comes up, especially as it's coming up as an outcome. A key time. A key time in the life where your judgment, your ability to discern what is good and what is not good, what works and what does not work, what is a sensible and healthy decision to make and what isn't. Yes, it can also be a rebirth, a developmental milestone, a phoenix rising from the ashes, a new direction. But this is a very important time for Nicola, very important time. Um, yeah, You know, I'm going to say there were two major arcana. This one talks about going on a journey. So this is the four crossed by the Three of Cups. That speaks of going on a journey. And that was the second card. And the last card is Judgment. What I'm saying here in this reading, I don't know if it's Nicola herself or if it's a member of her family, like maybe her husband or something. But I get the impression, and I could easily be wrong, I get the impression that this was a hard sacrifice for her, one that she did not wish to make, but one she felt she had to make because it was important. It hurt her emotionally, which is why I get there's the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups. I mean, I got quite a few twos, threes, and fours here, which I'm going to check out because I can never remember what the significance of the numbers are sometimes. I'm very bad with that. But let's see. Twos. How did twos come up? Twos here. Twos normally mean couples and peoples and whatever. Okay, those are threes. This one is twos. Twos. Formation, duality, balance, relationships between two people, a fork in the road. So this is a divergence. This is a divergence. Growth, development, regeneration. I wonder if she's married. I wonder if she's married. What's going on with her husband? I wonder if she's married. I don't see a man here as such, but there's something going on here. I think that, okay. I have a feeling that there may be a health issue around the reason why she's leaving, and she said nothing, and it's come as a bolt out of the blue as to why no one knows. No one expected her to leave. I also think that the person who's going to succeed her is going to be a man. I think that he is going to be a person who there may be some scandal that comes out in regards to what's happening in the Scottish Parliament. I have here end of a cycle, something about betrayal, bad news. and people coming together in dark corners, dark money. I have here Rishi. This is my Rishi card. Somehow getting out of a difficult situation. Or taking action. Okay, let me try and read them across first. So there's some kind of betrayal or some kind of ending involving the Prime Minister and involving generosity or loans and debts. There's some bad news coming out about that in regards to a dodgy situation that someone has just about escaped out of. I don't know who this knight is. And I don't know why it's coming up in regards to that makes sense. Okay. Something about Rishi, yeah. In regards to this King of Spears. This King of Spears guy has come up before. And I didn't know whether it was Boris or whether it was Jeremy's King of Coins. I don't know who this guy is. But he's come up before, and I think it's the same guy. Could be wrong, I don't know. But yeah, so there's some kind of betrayal or some kind of scandal that I think is going to come out with these two characters, Sunak and someone else. Could be Rob, I'm not sure. It's bad news in regards to the betrayal, and this guy is going to try and come and save the day. He's going to be trying to save Rishi's backside. The person is regarding loans and debts, exchanges, and it could be for the maybe something to do with PPE, I don't know. But there's some dark money influence involved here. I don't know why this has come up. I don't know why this has come up in this reading. I don't know why it's come up in this reading, because this reading is supposed to be about Nicola. So I don't know why these jokers have come up. These people with dark money exchanging money messages or doing some dodgy stuff behind closed doors. Something they've been working on for a while. They've been working hard on this money making scheme for a while. And this is an abuse of power. 5 of Swords. This is an abuse of power. Scandal. Bad news. Dark money. Rishi. Oops. Barely escaping with his clothes on his back. Somebody may be trying to save him. I don't know. People working on things. Oops. This geezer, King of Spears, could be Rob, could be somebody else. I don't know who he is, this King of Spears. Loans and debts. Loans and debts, generosity, giving and helping, maybe something to do with PPE contracts, and an abuse of power. I don't know what this has to do with I don't know what this has to do with Nicola Sturgeon leaving. I actually don't know. Could it be? Could it be something to do with money? Something to do with MSP, a member of the Scottish Parliament? Could it be a recommendation? Maybe someone having a recommendation from the MSPs, from maybe not from Nicola herself, but from someone close to her. Could that have something to do with why she left all of a sudden? And all because I decided to go beyond 10 cards. How silly am I? Bollocks. Man, sometimes you see things that you don't want to see. It looks like there's something else going on there. I wondered if it was her health because I started seeing the pentacles. But sometimes the pentacles are exactly what they are. Sometimes the pentacles are coins. That is true. Sometimes they're coins. Sometimes they're not health. But I do sense that there is definitely more going on here. And I do sense that we are going to find out what that more is. I would not be surprised if there may be some minor health issue. I don't think it's going to be a huge health issue, but it might be a minor health issue. There's definitely something here to do with making the right judgment call. This definitely, her exit definitely was not planned. It was very sudden and it was a sacrifice for her. I'm wondering if it has something to do with her husband. And I think it's possible. It's possibly got something to do with PPE. I don't know. I don't know. Look, man, I'm just here. I'm just here. Not really talking to that many people. I come on, I talk to you guys. I'm just here. I don't know. But there is something fishy. There is something fishy. I don't know what that fishiness is about. From her side of things, you know, she wants to carry on as a public servant. She has left office with a good reputation herself, and there is many good things that she could do. There are many things that she wants to do. There's many things she probably will do. But as to her leaving, health may be a factor, but another factor is there may be some issues around PPE. There may be some issues around someone, not necessarily her directly, but someone getting a contract when they shouldn't have gotten a contract. Yeah, that was very interesting. Okay, let me have a look at okay, let's see. Right then. Yes, 8 years. Yep. Yes, the pentacles are to do with health as well. Yes, there were two major arcana pulled. The Fool and Judgment. There were no other major arcana pulled. Um, Everything is very sudden here. Oh, see who's CEO of the SNP? Who's CEO of the SNP, Brett? Is that her husband? Is he the chairman of the SNP? Oh, ooh. You know what? I looked at that Two of Cups and I said to myself, this is a contract. An agreement was made. It could be her husband. There's something dodgy going on with her husband. She has left in good standing. I think there's something to do with her husband. I started looking at the cards and it kept on coming up with the twos and the threes. And I'm like, hold on a minute. What's going on with her husband? There's something going on with her husband. I feel like saying there's something going on with her husband. And that may be why she resigned. Now, it could be the husband's sick. But I also get all those pentacles as well. And they come up again later with that Ten of Swords, and it's making me feel like saying that there's some kind of business dealing or something going on with the husband. I think there's something with the husband. So on that note, I will say good night to anyone who wants to watch me on the replay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, please share, please subscribe. If you would like for me to do a personal reading for you, please feel free to email me at showintheends@gmail.com. And I will get back to you in an appointment time and we can do this. And I'll also get back to you with the price list so you can see, well, price list with my prices and you can see what my prices are. Until next time, peace and keep on shining brightly, my metaphysical beauties. Mwah. Good night.